Time to go through the papers this morning with showbiz reporter extraordinaire Stephanie Tecci and the light-fingered political editor of HuffPost UK, Kevin Schofield. Well, I've got a 50% chance of being right, according to the Sun,
that's true.
Kevin.
That's true. No comment, but yeah, it's a pretty stark headline. Half of nation are shoplifters. Now, you know, they've got a picture there of someone putting a bottle of wine inside their pocket, like the world's worst shoplifter.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, this includes, it says the most common stolen item is the 10p reusable bag. So, for instance, you know, you're at the self-checkout.
That.
Yeah.
That is so easily done.
You can do that by mistake.
Yeah.
But tell it to the judge.
The other week, I did unintentionally shoplift because I paid for my shopping, self-service thing, and took the trolley out, and under a bag was like a £3 box of pesto, tub of pesto. And I did have that moment where I thought...
Did you go back and pay for it?
Are they really going to miss it? You know, should I?
Yeah.
And I do that thing where I think, if I'm not honest about this, karma.
Yeah.
So you went back.
And I went back
Good for
and
you.
I was honest.
Oh, well, that's
good.
a
And they were
relief.
very grateful, and I thought they'd say, "I'll keep it," but no, they didn't.
No, don't do that.
But it does also include 45% steal baked goods, such as pasties, pastries and bread rolls.
Oh, God.
Yeah. 40% admit to stealing fruit or eating it in the store.
I mean, is this being linked? I'm not excusing it at all, but is it being linked in any way to the cost of living?
Well, yeah, no, it does say the top excuse was the cost of living crisis and other financial pressures, which, you know, would be the most common reason, I would think. But other folk
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I have some sympathy with that argument to an extent. But I think people are just going mad. I actually saw a shoplifter being stopped last week in my local Sainsbury's.
well, it's happening all the time.
What were they trying to nick?
It was a young fella built like an outhouse, you know, and he had a bag full of wine.
Aye. They've become
How
quite
does he
blatant.
think he can steal that?
And honestly, code 10, and it was two older fellas and about 6 women all descended on him.
Ooh.
And they stopped him and they got it off him.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, leave me alone. And he's just walked out the shop.
Aye, that's what
Well,
happened.
What can you do? But they've got him on CCTV.
I think it's a bit of an epidemic now. I mean, you see now in lots of supermarkets you have security now on the door, which these guys are probably not paid very well. Now, they're not surely expected to potentially put their life on the line.
No,
you know,
honestly.
if somebody's been shoplifting. So it's a major problem.
I think people know they will get away with it these days. You know, like it's becoming less and less. You know, you know you're not going to get arrested unless you shoplifted from somewhere like Harrods or somewhere like that. But people know they'll get away with it. So people are much more brave if they think, oh, I want an orange or, you know, a croissant for free. They're just going to go ahead, but it's not right.
Although with the self-service tills, there's supermarkets now that won't let you out unless you've scanned your receipt.
Oh, really?
really?
I've seen that one.
I've not seen that.
That's in one of my local...
Well, you live in a dodgy area.
Why do you think I live there?
Yeah. But, no, I mean, I just think you've got to be careful. I mean, I quite like the fact now that on the self-service tills, a lot of them have cameras on them.
CCTV.
And a little monitor so you can see that you're being monitored.
The other one where it's easy to do it inadvertently is if you've got kids and you go down to the supermarket and you give them like a sweet or a cookie and they eat it and they empty packet and you put it in your trolley with good intentions to pay it and then you forget.
You see, with the self-care, you should scan it and then let
Well, there is that, but if you're not doing the self... I sound like I'm making an excuse for myself.
Yeah, you do. No, well, look, I mean, accidental shoplifting or one thing, or a plastic bag or whatever, but it's when it's getting so brazen.
Stephanie, let's pay tribute to
I'm really sad about this.
Elliot. Coronation Street, the actor John Saviden died at the age of 86.
86, yes. His agent came out with a statement yesterday saying that he had passed away, surrounded by his family. He was one of my favourite characters on Coronation Street. Iconic, larger than life, gregarious. Sometimes, you know, even hearing about his passing, I was like, I totally forget that he wasn't actually Fred Elliott because he embodied that character so well. And so a lot of his co-stars on Coronation Street have been paying tribute, including Sue Nichols, who played Audrey Roberts. And she said, "My memories of working with dear John on the street are a joy."
Well, they had a bit of a thing, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They never got married.
No,
Adrian Fred.
He was unlucky in love, but again, he was just one of those iconic characters in soapland, and it's so sad when these people go because you just think, actually, you made such a good imprint on a show like Coronation Street, and they do become a part of the family.
They do,
Because you watched them so long.
In the corner of your living room every other night,
Well, everyone knows Fred Elliott and Ashley, don't they? Normal people.
How long had he been off screen for?
I think his last thing was in maybe 2015.
But and had he left Coronation?
Yes, he did. He left in 2005.
He's still one of those faces.
You just remember.
Yeah.
That's when you know someone's played a role really well.
Kevin, do you want to do do you fancy a bit of glamping?
Well, a bit careful with this story.
This is a bit saucy,
I
Kevin.
like it.
So this is a glamping site which has come under criticism from local residents.
Oh, dear.
It's called the Secret Garden glamping site because local residents have been complaining about amorous noises, shall we say.
Let's just say it. Loud sex.
No, it's a breakfast show.
Well, it's just a fact of life.
Yeah, my glasses are steaming up here. But,
Noises, yes.
But yeah, one resident wrote to the local authority complaining about repeated renditions of 1980s hit Islands in the Stream. That's the other one.
I'd complain about that.
I would have
But
dropped
also, there's a great quote actually from the person that wrote into the planning authority. He said, "We had to listen to a couple blaring out Islands in the Street over and over, thinking they were Dolly and Kenny." That would drive you mad, actually.
Can I actually shut it down? What?
Well, if it's noise pollution, you know, if it's causing you distress.
Well, you just cut the wires, don't you? On the pull out the
people ideas.
shut them down.
But yeah, there's a few that residents have talked about the noise coming over, including loud chat and sex in the thin tents. So it doesn't mask the noise, which I can imagine. There was one says that their son his bedroom is at the back of the house, so he hears it all.
Yeah, inconsiderate. You're in a tent.
Yeah.
In a tent, you've got to be a bit more considerate about whatever you do.
You just go into your own world, though, when you're in a tent. You forget that anyone...
You like a bit of camping,
I do like glamping. I love it. But you do forget that you've got neighbours around who can hear everything. Like, I just got back from Costa Rica, and everything I was doing in my tent, including snoring, my neighbours just used to give me weird looks in the morning because they just hear it all.
Yeah. I have to say, yeah, if you're going to go glamping, why do you want to do it near people?
No, that is...
I guess you just sort of
some
forget
people
where you're in the tent.
But I'd want to be well away from civilization.
Some people just get kicks in different weird ways.
They do.
Add spice to their relationship, I suppose.
I suppose so. No, we can't do that in 20 seconds, can we? No, we've got 20 seconds left. We haven't got time. I tell you what, if you're going to go camping, get a proper tent. You've got a proper tent.
I do, leopard print one.
Leopard print.
Nice.
Takes it to Glastonbury every year.
Yeah.
Well, you won't lose it.
No, not
easy
at all.
to find, yeah.
You two, it's been a joy. Stephanie, Kevin, thank you.
Thank you.
Here's your weather.